Hi, Ione here, dating and relationship coach for young single women. I help them find and attract the healthy kind of love that they're looking for. Now, everyone has a story, and this is mine. When I was in my early 30s, I went through a life-changing breakup, and it was one of the breakups that affected every area of my life. You know, my career was on hold, my business had folded at the time, I had visa issues, I needed to find a new home because we were living together, and on top of that, I had to deal with the emotional roller coaster of a breakup. Now, if you've been through a breakup, you can imagine just how devastating that can be. And when the dust settled, I had to start dating again. Now, dating was a whole new experience. You know, all my friends were getting married, engaged, and having babies, and here I was, single. You know, I felt like I was being left behind. And so I quickly went on these dating apps, lined up a whole bunch of dates, and went on them, and they weren't that great. And I grew tired of them really, really quickly. You know, when a guy I was dating went hot and cold, I'd often wonder, I'd get anxious wondering if it was ever going to happen for me. You know, either the guy I was seeing, you know, I didn't have a great connection with, or, you know, we'd have a great time for a couple of months and then they'd tell me that they just wanted to be friends or they couldn't see us going any further in the relationship. So, you know, I grew jaded and I blamed it on everything and everyone except for me. You know, I blamed it on my circumstance. I blamed it on the men in Sydney, the dating apps and how they don't work. I blamed it on dating sites and how they sucked, how the dating scene in your 30s wasn't great. It was just my mindset. And it wasn't until I had this aha moment that I realized that I was in control of my own love life. So I'm in control of the vibes I put out there. I'm in control of the people I attract. I am in control of the people I let stay in my life. You know, I had so much control and, you know, I was ready to take the power back of my love life. No more blaming it on anyone else. And so I did the mindset, you know, I shifted my mindset completely, you know, took all the right steps to understand what my needs were, you know, to learn how to communicate those needs. And the kind of men I attracted completely changed, you know. Dating was easy again. You know, it was no longer hard to meet good men. You know, I'd no longer look at other people and think, oh, like, what does she have that I don't? I'd no longer get jealous of other people who had progressed down that, you know, typical timeline that I had. You know, I was just so confident that it was going to happen for me. And it did. You know, not long after that, I met Christian through a dating app, and a year later we got engaged, and a year after that we got married, and we've been together ever since. And I never regret the breakup that broke me, because sometimes things have to get really bad before they get better. And for me, that's exactly what happened. So whatever it is you're going through right now, I know that you can, you know, find ways to kind of claim that control back over your love life. I know what it's like to, you know, feel hopeless when another date fizzles out. I know what it's like to feel anxious, wondering if it's ever going to happen for you. To see other people get engaged, get married, and you're wondering, what does she have that I don't? I get it all. And, you know, there's a way you can work around it. It's all the inner work. And once you get the inner work, you'll learn how to, you know, communicate your needs effectively. You'll know how to look for people that can fulfill them, and you'll just have so much confidence that it'll happen for you. Now, in my Lucky in Love program, we fast track your way to finding your person, and it's filled with all the little things I did to make dating so fun and so easy again. So in the first part, we talk about, you know, identifying what your roadblocks are, because if you don't know what's standing in your way, you don't know what to clear. So in the first part, we talk about, you know, what's holding you back, relationship patterns, and how you can kind of break through them. And in the second part, we work on reframing your mindset. So if you've been reading any of my stuff, you'll know that mindset is the secret sauce to attracting your ideal relationship. You know, it's the biggest thing I did to change the type of people I was attracting into my love life. So we work on that quite a bit in the second section. Now in the third part, we get crystal clear on what kind of guy you need to feel fulfilled in a relationship. Now you may have a list already, but you'll be so surprised by, you know, what kind of guy you need to feel emotionally fulfilled. you know, a lot of the students who do this are often surprised. You know, the list they had in the beginning before the course is completely different from the list that they have post doing these exercises. So don't underestimate this one. It's a really, really fun part. The next part, we get to self-care and manifestation. And this part is all about, you know, putting a great energy out there and feeling really confident in your own skin, and, you know, taking care of yourself so that you become the best version of you. Now, the next part, I get into where you can meet men, and this is great because I cover where to meet men online and offline. Great for those who aren't very comfortable with online dating and would rather meet people in real life. And, you know, then we get to flirting and conversation starters, because, you know, a lot of women I speak to are quite shy and they don't really know how to go about flirting. So in this part of the module, we actually cover easy ways for you to flirt, you know, just by being yourself. And in the last module, we deep dive into understanding men, especially in those tricky parts of the relationship. So, you know, what to do when he's not putting in the 100% that you are, or, you know, what to do when he pulls away and he's not showing as much interest as he was in the beginning. We cover all of this, and, you know, there's a lot of one-on-one, you know, I read your exercises, so we workshop all these situations together. You know, a lot can happen in 30 days. You'll learn exactly what's in your way, how to shift your mindset to attract healthy love long-term, how to meet men effortlessly, and how to feel good in your own skin and, you know, develop these great relationships with men, and, you know, in every aspect of your life. You know, a lot can change in 30 days. I've seen women find their person in 5 weeks. I've seen people find their person in 18 months, you know, but the end goal is they meet them, and that's the goal. So, you know, it can totally happen for you, and I would be so happy to work with you and, you know, be part of your journey to find your person. So I hope you join me in Lucky in Love, and yeah, I'll see you soon.